Well, in our legal segment with the Higgins Firm today, we're talking about probate, which is a legal process that takes place after someone passes away. Today, we're getting some important questions answered. Attorney Jim Higgins with the Higgins Firm recently stopped by with some information you need to know. We've got Jim joining us on the show again today. Great to have you back.
Thank you.
All right, so we've talked about probate on the show before, but today we're actually going to go into detail on some of the most common questions that your office receives. So let's start with the first one. The first one is, after somebody passes away, what happens to their credit card and their other debt?
Right. Again, a top question. So yeah, so when we are probating the estate, there's these things that you just don't think of it until you start that inheritance process. And that is always a big problem. Somebody, you go through the mail, they've got a big credit card debt, and the person needs to know, do they have to pay it? First of all, if you're not on the credit card, if you're a spouse, but you're not listed, you don't have to pay it. A lot of these people will get calls from the credit card company saying that they have to, but if that was only in the decedent's names, not your responsibility. Now, you may have to pay it through the probate estate, but what normally happens is when you probate the estate, you give notice to creditors, and they have a limited amount of time to say, hey, this person owed us this money. If that credit card company never files a claim and you put them on notice, then you may not have to pay it. And sometimes we file exceptions to claims and say, hey, we don't think this is right. We don't think we should have to pay it. And if they don't respond to that, you may not have to pay it. A lot of that's a personal decision. And so we'll have people that will say, you know what, it was our debt. We'd rather get that done. And other folks will say, hey, we don't want to if we don't have to. So we kind of advise our clients, and then we're their advocate, and we'll act accordingly.
Okay, kind of walk them through that process. Okay, another common question your office gets about probate is, how long does probate take? What is that process like?
Right. Well, under the law, it takes 4 months minimum. So usually it might take a little more time than that, and that's to give all your creditors notice of, hey, do we owe you anything, and argue about that if you need to. Make sure all the affairs are over, get your tax returns done if you need to. Now, just because probate takes 4 months, you shouldn't be too concerned. There are always, or generally, a lot of property that passes outside probate. So like if you and your spouse had a joint bank account together, that doesn't just stay during that 4 months. That would pass automatically to you. Real estate sometimes passes automatically. So it doesn't lock everything up, but the process itself has to take at least 4 months, might take 6. Sometimes we can move them a little quicker, sometimes they become a little more complicated.
Okay, good information. And our last question today is, will we have to pay taxes?
Right, right. Well, this is one place where more times than not, you don't. Tennessee inheritance tax has been risen over the years. It's a little over $5 million now, and next year they're just doing away with it basically if the law goes into effect like it's supposed to. The federal government taxes, they're also a little over $5 million now, so most of us don't have to worry about that.
Good to know.
That's it. So usually you don't have to pay taxes.
Okay, a lot of great info. Jim, thanks so much.
Thank you.
And the Higgins Firm is serving Tennessee. Give them a call at 1-800-705-2121 or go to their website. That's thehigginsfirm.com.